Remote trades are finally here, but it could take up to 3 months to take advantage of this. Let's go over everything we know about this new feature and how you can quickly become forever friends in Pokemon Go. Ever since we started playing Pokemon Go, everyone has asked us, when can we do remote trades? And I'm glad it's finally here. It's currently being rolled out in New Zealand, so hopefully the rest of the world will get it really soon. It looks like there's going to be a new friendship level, and they're calling this Forever Friends. So this new friendship level is going to be higher than best friends, and it's going to offer some rewards like XP along the way. And once you become forever friends with someone, you'll be able to make a remote trade. It takes 90 interactions to get to best friends with that 1 interaction per day, or if you have a seasonal bonus that goes a little bit faster, but it is 90 to get the best friends. And it looks like it's going to be 180 total to get forever friends. So an additional 90 over those best friends. So if you're already best friends with someone, get ready to start interacting even more. And 90 days from now, 3 months, maybe you'll hit Forever Friends. And once you reach Forever Friends, then you can unlock that remote trade. Forever Friends is going to work a lot differently than we've had friendship levels in the past. Once you reach Forever Friends, you'll unlock that remote trade, and then you'll have the progress bar for friendship points. It seems like you can have these at the same time, that remote trade, and still work on those friendship points, but it does say for you to do subsequent remote trades, you'll have to have completed that first. Let's say you and I unlock Forever Friends. We get a remote trade right away. But maybe we don't execute that remote trade, we just keep interacting and building friendship points. So that progress bar is still going as we interact with each other. But we want to make sure we do that remote trade before we hit 90, since you won't be able to stack these. So maybe if there's an event upcoming like Kalos Tour, Go Fest, something like that, we might want to hold off on the remote trade until day 89 for something that we got from that event to do a remote trade with that Pokemon. And then the next day at 90 friendship points, we unlock another and we do that one. This is how we're interpreting it from the website, so things could change as this gets rolled out. So let's say we want to do that remote trade. How is that going to work? The first thing is that you'll have this new tag where you can tag Pokemon for remote trading. Once you become forever friends with someone, you'll be able to see the tag of that trainer. So you have a list of remote trade Pokemon tagged, and they have a list of remote Pokemon tagged. Then from there, you can take a look at that list and select up to 3, and then that trainer can approve the one that you're going to trade. Each trainer can choose up to 3 Pokemon that they want from this trade. And since it says up to 3, it looks like you can just choose 1 or you can choose 2, but we'll see. Then each trainer approves 1 Pokemon from that wish list up to 3. And if each trainer approves, the remote trade takes place. Each trainer will have the ability to cancel this throughout the process and then start over. And this might be a little confusing until it actually gets rolled out and we can start doing some of those remote trades. Kind of like when hypertraining came out, their verbiage said hypertrain any Pokemon, and then it was really confusing that shadows were excluded and they had to update some of their material on that. So we'll just have to see. But regardless, we're very happy that remote trading is finally here. Now that I've covered remote trading and Forever Friends, Bernie wants to dive into that strategy.
So this is my favorite part of the game, is finding out the strategy of some of these new features. And there's definitely going to be a ton of strategy to try to hit Forever Friends faster than other people in the game. So we know it takes 90 days or 90 interactions to hit Forever Friends, but we can get it faster. Typically, you can get about a point a day. So over 7 days, you can get 7 points. But if you are strategic and get into a weekly challenge with 3 of the same trainers, you can actually get 14 points over a week. That is because with the weekly challenges, you can get up to 7 friendship points for completing that weekly challenge. So what that means is that this is basically halved. In 45 days, you can hit Forever Friends with 3 trainers. Now that is the max. So you might want to coordinate with up to 3 other trainers to be like, hey, let's have a core group. Let's try to hit Forever Friends as quickly as possible. That way, if you guys are all working in a group together, you'll be able to hit that in 45 days. If not, maybe you rotate with different friends in your weekly challenges, and maybe it's not 45 days, maybe it's more like 75 days, but you have a bunch all coming up around the same time. One thing we forgot to mention too is that remote trades are not special trades. And this is a huge bonus because if you are still trading with someone in person, you can still do your 2 special trades this season and even do an extra special trade with that remote trade, which is huge. Cream and I are still going to try to hit Forever Friends, do our like remote trade. I guess I'll have to like go down the street or something and we can just get an extra special trade done, which is pretty nice. But you're going to want to be extremely strategic as well about engaging with friends. That's because you can only open up a certain amount of gifts per day. And if you open up the wrong gifts, you might not actually be interacting with that friend. So if you've never noticed, your friendships will either have no halo or this blue halo. The blue halo means it is their turn to interact. So if you see that blue halo, do not open that gift. You only want to open up a gift when it is a no halo person. That way it marks as an interaction. You can also search not interactable and see who you have not interacted with in that day, especially if you've done like any remote raids with them or you join them remotely in raids as well, because those do count as interactions. We are able to open up a couple more gifts with the Go Pass. It might even be worth getting the Go Pass Deluxe once this is finally rolled out to open up more gifts to start working on those friendships with everyone. But I'm hoping that we see some type of other bonus, maybe like a monthly bonus where we're getting like, you can open up 100 gifts a day or something like that. That would be incredible. We're also going to be seeing the friendship list going from 450 to 650. And each week we're going to be increasing that by 50 friends up until we get to 650. So definitely work on adding friends and start those interactions now. That way you can get up to best friends ASAP and then work on those forever friends. I definitely think once Forever Friends comes out, you're going to want to focus on those best friends that you have lucky friends with over anyone else. That's what I'm saying. If you can get a group of 3 people that maybe you all share 3 lucky trades with the same people, depending on like what communities you're in, you might have that. I know within our community, we definitely have people who are, similar best friends, lucky friends with other people. So hopefully we can all kind of coordinate that, but that's going to be the best strategy to go ahead and get some of those remote trades done. That way you can get that lucky trade done. You can start becoming lucky friends with them again and get that process rolling on that progress bar to keep doing that. Because if you're on top of it, hopefully every time you get a lucky trade, you can get a remote trade and just kind of keep that cycle going. And what you can be doing right now is any best friends that you are friends with, go ahead and try to get them with lucky friends. Because I definitely think once Forever Friends is rolled out, if you are not lucky friends with someone, those people are going to try to be interacting with those lucky friends over anyone else. So just go ahead and get on people's lists, get on their radar and become lucky friends over anything else. I know that's definitely going to be my priority. So I have about 20 some or so lucky friends. I'm definitely going to be prioritizing those once Forever Friends comes out. But right now, anyone I'm best friends with that I'm not lucky with, I'm interacting with them daily to try to hit lucky. And I would definitely go ahead and start planning what those global trades are going to be. We have a lot of people we're going to try to hit Forever Friends with. So what we're doing now is already communicating what do you want, because I might only have 1 or 2 of certain things. There are definitely some high profile Pokemon that people want. I might have a few of those or I might only have 1. So you want to go ahead and start talking to those people and make sure that they have that saved for you. That way you get exactly what you want. It is never too early to start kind of claiming Pokemon, or at least start thinking what you might want from someone else as well. But you cannot trade Pokemon caught within the last 30 days. So I think that's going to be really interesting, especially as like Kalos Tour comes, and hopefully if it's Mega Mewtwo, like we can't trade that right away. So you are going to have to be patient and call dibs on that. If you know that someone has like a shiny Mewtwo with the background, go ahead and call dibs on that, because it's going to take at least 30 or more days before you can even get that Pokemon. You definitely want to communicate with the people that you are going to be forever friends with, especially once everyone is starting to hit Forever Friends. You might have someone who like you don't interact with a lot, you hit Forever Friends with them, and they all of a sudden like request a trade, and the Pokemon up for trade is something that you've promised to someone else. So try to communicate with that. I definitely think in my trade list, I'm going to keep it very, very minimal and have it very strategically like, okay, like I'm going to trade with you, and this is in my trade list. This is just for you specifically. I'm probably going to put the Pokemon you want and then 2 other randoms that you want. So I'll give like an example with Stevo. Stevo wants Xurkitree. In my trade tag, I'm probably only going to have Xurkitree and then like a regular Pidgey and a Rattata, right? So it's very obvious. I'm going to name it, if I can, Stevo, right? So that way when Stevo sees a trade, he's like, oh, this is my trade in that trade list. I'm gonna click on the 3 Pokemon that I want from the wish list, or even one if we can choose one. We'll see how that actually ends up working. So Stevo's gonna definitely click the Zergatry and the other 2. And I'm like, oh, obviously Stevo's not gonna want a Pidgey from a remote trade. It's kind of funny if anyone wants that. So it's like, oh, I know for sure Stevo wants the Zergatry. Because I definitely feel like there's gonna be a little bit of miscommunication early on if you're not able to communicate with someone, where they're gonna like want something, the other person's gonna choose something, it's gonna be the wrong thing. And yes, you can cancel it, but I just worry that there's gonna be a little bit of that pressure, like, oh my gosh, I don't wanna cancel it. But I also feel like cancel that trade if you don't want to do it, and it's not going to hurt anyone's feelings. So, but I feel like communicating and having like an organized kind of strategy and approach to this is just going to make it easier for everyone. Obviously, we will have so much more information to share once we're actually able to do remote trading, but this is a super exciting feature. I'm really excited to see how quickly some people are going to be able to start doing those remote trades, especially those players in New Zealand who are already able to start working on that progress bar. We're definitely going to be relying on them a bunch. And I do really like that, New Zealand is going to be the guinea pig for such a good feature, because they also kind of have to deal with some of the bad stuff that goes on in the game sometimes with things not working. So definitely happy that they're getting this cool feature a little bit ahead of time, that they can test it out, see how it goes, and hopefully it rolls out smoothly. And yeah, I'm just really excited about it. But I'd love to know, what do you guys think about remote trading? Are you excited about it? Do you have any questions about it? How do you think it's going to be working? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.
We want to give a huge thank you to our incredible Patreon supporters. Your support means everything to us and helps make content like this possible.
You're helping us take things to the next level. We couldn't do this without you.